Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cole Dutchendorf here with a couple of sub-state games tonight. We got first on the docket is going to be the Halstead Dragons taking on the Haven Wildcats, and the second game will be southeast of Saline Trojans taking on the Hessen Swathers. I am waiting for my broadcasting compatriots to join me in the booth up here. They are currently in basketball practice. We're giving Lucas a break for the first game of the evening, and then we will be back with you for the Heston Saline game. So again, it'll be Halstead Haven is in the first game. That's the 1 versus the 5 seed. That'll be starting at 5:30, and then the Saline Heston game is the 2 versus 3 seed starting at 8 o'clock. So we will have a long evening of games for tonight. On the boys' side of things, the second round that we'll be broadcasting tomorrow is going to be Heston versus Saline. So again, the Heston-Saline matchup in the girls and boys side, and then the Lions taking on the Haven Wildcats in the early game tomorrow evening. So I'm really excited for these next 4 games that we get to broadcast for you, especially this first one tonight. We got the Halstead Dragons taking on the Wildcats. Should be a good one. It was a pretty close game when they played earlier in the season, so we are in for a couple of good games. Do we want to just get the ads right now? Okay. A big thanks to Swather Power Club for supporting all Heston High School activities and athletics. Did you know that Swather Power Club is the one and only Heston High School booster club, and anyone who signs up to be a member automatically enters the student of their choice to win one of 2 $1,000 college scholarships? Right now, you can join SBC for free. Look for the Swather Power Club on the Heston High School website menu or visit them on Facebook. All of us at the Swather Sports Network would like to say thank you to the Heston Community Foundation. Their generous grant is helping us bring this action to you right now, and without their support, we would not have been able to bring in almost 24 kids into the AV program. So make sure to thank and support the Heston Community Foundation, a proud supporter of the Heston community. Plaza Truck Wash, providing an excellent car and truck wash experience to Heston and the surrounding communities for over 30 years. Your continuous support allows us to endow local causes and organizations like the Swather Sports Network. Go Swathers! Let Heston Prestige Printing help you with all of your printing needs: invitations, mailings, business cards, banners, yard signs, license plates, coasters, and more. Shop local for paper and office supplies too. Pine Edge Golf Course, located near Gossel, is a beautiful golf course designed for family entertainment and is open from sunup to sundown 365 days a year. Sharpen your wedge at Pine Edge. Go golf! Pizza Hut, proudly serving Heston students and their families. Call Heston Pizza Hut and ask about the great special where you can purchase any large pizza and get a medium pizza or any of our delicious desserts for free. Call 620-327-2253. No one outpizzas the Hut. Hey Swather fans, thanks for choosing the Heston Pharmacy. When you support your locally owned and operated pharmacy, you make it possible for us to pass it on to Heston kids with ads like this. Thank you, and go Swathers. All right, so now I got some company in the booth.
Oh, hello, hello.
How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing good. How are you, Cole?
I'm excited for the games that we got going on tonight.
Absolutely.
Excited for some fresh blood here in the commentating booth with you and Jackson Humphreys.
You mic 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because then mic 2 is Jackson, and then this one is that. So,
Interesting.
we have plenty of time to kill. Anything we want to talk about before we introduce the teams?
Sorry, I'm so close to my mouth. 12 minutes? Is that what we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
We probably should start the team introductions at about 5 minutes. So we got about 6 minutes to kill talking about whatever you want to talk about.
All right, that's cool. Folks, I'm new to this. Lucas Roth is not here for this game, but he'll be back later when Heston takes on Southeast. So I'm just covering his shift for now. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Obviously, Halstead Dragons, powerhouse in 3A. Haven. They had the championship last year, if you remember that. It was Haven versus Halstead in SUBSTATE of last year.
Yeah, it was. So we got a little rematch going on this year.
But just semifinal time.
And it wasn't it like a 4-point game in that championship?
Say that again?
Wasn't it about a 4-point game in that championship game
Yeah,
last
it was
year?
close, I'm pretty sure. And then Halstead pulled it out at the end. What was crazy was that Haven had beat Halstead twice in the regular season.
You're spoiling some of my introduction stuff later.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
What is that sound? Is it that?
Yes.
It's so loud. I can really hear it through my mic. It's blasting.
All right, sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
That's what happens when you got the newbie up here, huh?
Oh, yeah. You know what they say.
Oh, we should go over some tournament results around the state.
Oh, we got the whole bracket here.
Yeah,
okay,
we'll go girls first. So, in that
Western Kansas,
the Hugoton sub-state, we got Hugoton taking on Holcomb tonight. Cimarron taking on Scott Community.
Okay, my bad. Continue.
Phillipsburg taking on Norton, and then TMP taking on Goodland. That's the top left side of the bracket.
Okay, so that was the Western Kansas side. Now we have like the Midwest. I like to call it the Wichita area sub-state. We have Cheney. They beat Fredonia, so they're moving on. We have them taking on Wichita Trinity in the second round. On the other side, we have Eureka taking on Collegiate. For our sub-state here, obviously this game, Halstead versus Haven. And then later tonight, you will see Southeast Saline versus Heston. That wraps up the Midwest, or like I like to call Wichita area.
I'm going to call this one the miscellaneous side.
I mean, you could also just call it
miscellaneous.
You could call it Northeast.
But I could also call it the miscellaneous side.
Okay, fair enough.
Osage City taking on Silver Lake in that second round matchup of the 1 versus 4 seed. Rock Creek taking on Riley County, so no surprises there. 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed all in that bracket. Then Nemaha Central taking on Jefferson West, and Sabetha taking on Royal Valley.
And in the last sub-state, or actually, I should say category, we have 2 sub-states left. I like to call this the southeast side of Kansas. Over there we have Frontenac taking on Galena. On the other side we have Girard taking on Cherryville. And then in the Wellsville sub-state, or you could say the Osawatomie sub-state, we have Osawatomie taking on Perry Compton. And the other side we have Wellsville taking on Garnett.
So were there any huge upsets that we're seeing here?
Check it out.
Oh shoot, Wellsville, 7 seed. Beat Bishop Ward, 2 seed.
Whoa.
First round. Did not notice that until right now. Then on the guys side of things, we'll get in that tomorrow. We don't really have time for that today.
Let me just say it's pretty crazy on the guys side of things.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
That Nemaha Central loss, man.
Yeah, that's a 4 versus 5.
That Cherryville loss, though.
That was a 2 seed, right?
Yep.
That was kind of crazy. Did it lose bad?
Yeah.
They got blown out?
No, it was like 10 points, I think.
I mean, that's pretty bad considering it's to the 7th seed. So, anything you want to expand upon before we get into our official pregame thoughts?
I think, obviously, Halstead's the favorite. I mean, of course, #1 seed in the sub-state, only 3 losses in the regular season. Haven, I would say, had a, what would the word you would use? Up and down, on and off.
Roller coaster?
Yeah, kind of season. Hot for some stretches, cold for some others, but definitely battled their way through to, the 5th seed, correct? Because it was Smoky Valley was the 4th.
5 seed.
So, obviously, Halstead's a favorite, but I wouldn't rule out Haven. You know, this could be a battle. Obviously, the teams, obviously, historically, they're not rivals, but the last couple of years, they've seen each other a lot.
The rivalry has been renewed.
For sure. So, it's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm excited for both teams. So, we'll see.
So, Haven, they've had a down year by their standard as they went 7-13 during regular season play, but they pulled off the upset in round 1 of Sub-State, beating the 13-7 Smoky Valley Vikings by 9 points, which is especially impressive considering they lost to the Vikings by 11 less than 2 weeks ago. They are looking to exact a bit of revenge, as we talked about this year, as they lost to Halstead in the Sub-State finals last year after beating them twice in the regular season. They are led in scoring by junior Reese Roper, currently averaging 11.5 points a game, and she is followed by 5'11 senior McGuire Estall, who averages 8 points and 8 rebounds a game. Haven is a very streaky team, so when they're on, they can be a very dangerous and potent team, and when they aren't, they are a team who can become pretty stagnant offensively and somewhat undisciplined on the defensive side. If their shots are falling at all tonight, they might have a chance against this powerhouse Dragons team, especially considering that they have a decent matchup with Corinna Gerber in the post, as Estall only gives up 2 inches in height and is capable of playing some good defense down in the post. If you're Haven, you might consider switching to a zone at some point if the Dragons are burning you inside, as that has slowed Halstead down in stretches during the season. As for Halstead, they have been on an absolute tear over the last few years, as the last season that they've lost more than 5 games in a season was 5 years ago, if you believe it or not.
Wow.
They've qualified for state the last 2 years, including a berth last year in which they placed in the Final Four before the state tournament was canceled due to COVID-19. They have been very solid as usual this year, as they went 17-3 in the regular season, including quality losses to Cheney, who was undefeated, and Nickerson, who is one of the top teams in 4A. The one blip that they did have in the season was their recent loss to Heston, in which the Swathers pretty much dominated defensively, holding the Dragons to only 31 points, including keeping Corinna Gerber in single digits. And speaking of Gerber, she has been dominant per usual this year, averaging 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks, which is insane. She has been a force to be reckoned with over her entire high school career, and each year she has been the focal point of what has been a very solid Dragons basketball team. Alongside Gerber, the Dragons have Kaylee O'Brien, a sophomore who is averaging 10 points and 3 steals per game, and Parker Schroeder, the lockdown senior, who is among the best defensively in all of 3A, averaging 6 points, 3 steals, and 3 assists a game. They also have several other solid role players on their team, including Josie Ingle and Maddie McLean, and when they're rolling, they are a very, very dangerous team. They are coming off of a round 1 sub-state victory of the Lions, in which they won by 28 points, holding the Lions to only 15 points. I was able to get into contact with Coach Shute of the Dragons this week. He told me that in each of their losses this season, he felt like they were just a couple plays away in each game from winning each of them, and that they are trying to reach their top form as we are now in postseason basketball and headed into the very end of the season. And that's obviously what each team is going to want, for them to be playing their best basketball near the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sheesh, that was a lot of stuff to read through.
Yeah, both teams, obviously, Halstead's got a lot of key pieces to their team. And obviously, they're very successful. Only 3 more minutes until game time.
I guess we have some time for the keys to the game. For Haven, limit the damage that Gerber does down low. Shoot, I would say, at least 50% from the field and 35% from 3. If their shots are falling, like we said, they have a chance at beating the Halstead team. And then also play solid transition defense. And then the keys to the game, per Coach shoot of the Dragons contain Reese Roper and McGuire Estall. Don't allow Haven to dominate the offensive boards and take care of the ball in the half-court offense as well as the transition offense. So, I mean, if Halstead does that, chances are they're going to win the game.
Yeah, just limit turnovers, and obviously that offense is very important for the Dragons. Just taking your time, if you're going to slow it down in half-court offense and just making sure you have good shots, obviously very important.
If they just don't rush it and take their time, as you said, work through the offensive progressions, they have the roster to beat the Haven team. But again, as we've said every night so far, this is playoff basketball,
This is playoff
and anything
basketball.
can happen.
Welcome to Kansas Sub-State basketball, folks.
It can get kind of crazy. I mean, we saw it last year. Dragons had lost to Haven twice in the year, and then won when it mattered the most.
You know what they say? It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
And it's hard to beat a team more than once in any sport, pretty much, except for maybe like baseball or something. I don't really know. But maybe the one.
That's and tennis. Let's just not forget.
No, bro. Beating people in tennis.
Your son?
Oh yeah. I'm agreeing with you. I thought you were saying it's hard to beat someone more than once. Because I did son. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm with you.
Miscommunication there.
So with just a minute left to game time, we will get you your starters for the Haven Wildcats. They'll be starting Carly Arnold, number 1. She is
Good evening and welcome to the semifinals of the 2021 3A SUBSTATE Girls Basketball Tournament and our game tonight between the Halstead Dragons and the Haven Wildcats.
Carly Arnold, number 1, a 5'4" senior. Brianne Bronner, number 3, 5'4" sophomore. Reese Roper, number 5, 5'6" junior. Brooke Bronner, number 12, 5'7" senior. And McGuire Estall, number 42, 5'11" senior. Welcome to the booth, Jackson. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me up here.
Absolutely. Look forward to a pretty exciting game tonight. As I've said at least about 1,000 times already tonight. While y'all were gone, I gave the little pregame. Not gonna lie, not my best work. I pretty much repeated the same thing about 4 times and then went off air after my ads.
Okay.
For Haven, number 1, 5'4" senior Carly Arnold.
Oh, that's a handshake right there.
Yeah, girls always seem to have better handshakes than the guys do, for sure.
It's way more creative, that's for sure.
Very true, Ben. Very true.
And number 42, 5'11" senior McGuire Estall. Head coach Roy Roper, assisted by Tim Nickel.
And then for the Halstead Dragons, they will be starting Haley Lewis, number 1. She's a 5' senior. Kaylee O'Brien, number 3, 5'8" sophomore. Number 4, Parker Schroeder. She is a 5'6" senior. Corinna Gerber, 6 foot senior. I thought she was 6'1" actually, so it still only has a 1-inch height difference there. And then Josie Engel, number 22, 5'7" senior. So very experienced team for the Dragons. Halstead is the home team as they are the higher seed. I believe that's how that works.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep,
Okay.
that is correct.
So Haven will start with the ball, and we will get the game underway as soon as Halstead takes the floor.
It's definitely going to be interesting, after this game, having the whole removal of fans for the next game.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of all that's happened, though, to be fair.
Yeah, but full clean out. Anyway.
So Lewis will start with the ball for the Wildcats. We'll get it to Brooke Bronner. Gives it to Reese Roper, that Haven leader. Is still with the ball, top of the key, back to Roper.
Nice defense there.
Roper, a little crossover. Gets all the way into the lane and is going to get fouled by number 4, Parker Schroeder.
I was just talking about how good defense that was by Schroeder, but nice take by Roper.
Yeah, Roper looked pretty comfortable there going to her left hand and got the foul.
Jackson, you weren't with us when we gave our keys to the game, but for Haven, it was basically shoot over 50% from the field and about 35 from three. I think if they're knocking down their shots, they have a shot at knocking off the Dragons. And there's an example of knocking down your shots. 2 free throws made by Reese Roper. Dragons will get the ball immediately to Corinna Gerber. She will go to work. Tough layup is missed and boarded by Roper.
You know, I kind of think she forced that one up there. She had 3 girls on her. If she would just been able to kick it out to some of the good Halstead shooters, she might have been able to get 3 out of that possession.
You were going to say, Ben?
It's like, that's a tough shot for Gerber. I mean, under the basket, trying to dip in. Tough angle.
Yeah, maybe not the most high percentage shot that she could have found on that one, especially just like 2 passes into the possession, really.
Like we said earlier, just the Dragons taking their time on the half-court offense. Oh, nice defense by the Dragons.
Yeah, the Wildcats went to the picker, but there was some confusion between Yutzi and number 12 on the backside there, so they weren't able to get the ball in bounds.
Engel with the ball. Over to O'Brien. Left wing with Lewis. Trying to go inside the Gerber. It is stolen by the Wildcats, saved before it went out of bounds by Still.
Nice hustle by Still.
Great defense there from Lewis, but eventually is going to get hit with the foul there.
Body check there.
2 early fouls on, or 1 each for 2 of the better Dragon defenders.
Showing their aggressiveness a little bit early into the game. They're going to get the ball to Arnold. Arnold will take the pull-up jumper, and that is good.
Nice shot.
Schroeder with the ball in the corner to Engel. Back outside to Lewis. Inside to Gerber. Gerber will take 1 dribble, go up into the lane, misses it. Get the board it's boarded by O'Brien. O'Brien goes up with it, and her layup is good.
Again, that was a tough shot by Gerber, but nice board by O'Brien. Clean up.
Roper with the ball now on the left wing for the Wildcats. Back out to Arnold. Bronner with the ball. Bronner will pass to her sister or family member of some sort, I would assume. Breon Bronner, and then back to sister again. Stolen, though, by Lewis. She's headed the other way. The pass to Engel and was a little nice pass inside to O'Brien, and that is going to be another layup for O'Brien. So O'Brien with an early 4 points for the Dragons.
Great cut and the great pass to get it to lay there.
A little 2-2-1 press for the Dragons here. Nice move by Roper.
It's out to the shooter.
In the corner to Breon Bronner is no good. Little short, boarded by Engel. She's headed the other way. Up to Lewis. Lewis looks for Gerber. Gerber all the way, misses the layup, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds off of the Wildcats.
You know, if I'm Coach Roper, I'm pretty happy with the defense the Wildcats have played on Gerber so far.
Yeah.
And you saw a little more of that good defense, not necessarily on Gerber, but just in general. Roper batting that ball out of bounds off of the baseline out of bounds.
You know, so far, I like to call this like an early defensive battle, honestly. The points coming from fast breaks, off steals.
And that one offensive rebound that we saw with O'Brien earlier. Lewis with the ball, top of the key, inside to Gerber. Passes back outside to Engel. Left wing, Lewis. Lewis to Engel again. That is Schroeder with the three-pointer, going to be short. Great hustle by Engel. It's going to be out of bounds, though. She fell down, had the ball still in her hands, and she was just barely out of bounds, so it'll be Haven ball as number 34, Madison McLean, checks in for Haley Lewis for the Dragons.
Still in that 2-2-1 press, really high up there. All 5 Dragons on the far side of the half court.
Haven breaks that press pretty
Oh, nice
Well,
defense.
I might have spoke too soon, but
Oh.
yep, and I did a little bit. The
Yep,
pressure
there you
eventually
go.
got to him. They broke it very easily at first, and then kind of got it stuck there in the corner, and they dribbled it out of bounds off of the pressure by the Dragons.
Yeah, sometimes that best trap is right after half court when you have a third defender at that midline.
Gerber in the corner. Back inside to Gerber. Engel drives inside, jump stop. They're going to get a foul on, I believe, number 3, Brianne Bronner. No, number 5, Reese Roper. I just got to stop calling out the fouls.
I mean, also, like we don't talk about, but if they can get Roper into foul trouble, that's really big for the Dragons.
Yeah, the Wildcats would really struggle to score in that situation.
McLean in the corner. That three-point shot is attempted by number 22, Josie Engel, and it is good.
Bank is open on the Thursday, I see.
Oh, what a harassing defense. Wow.
Sorry, go ahead, Jackson.
You've seen early from the Dragons, they're going to reach and poke, and similar to Wichita Collegiate of years past, they're going to get away with some and they're going to get called, but they got away with maybe a little reach that time.
They got a jump ball, though.
Inside to Gerber, and she is hacked by 3 Wildcats at the same time, and that's going to be a foul on number 42 with Stahl. So 2 fouls for both of these teams early. 1 each for Haven on arguably their 2 best players in Roper and Stahl. Wide open 3 is taken by Engel again. That is off the front of the rim and boarded by Brianne Bronner.
Just a little short there.
She'll slow it down a little bit, let her teammates catch up with her. Arnold with the ball, over to Brianne Bronner again.
It's the first time in the last 2 minutes that the Wildcats have run a half-court offense here. And it won't last for very long as Josie Engel's going to rip that one away.
That was a pretty early tie-up call, I thought there. It looked like she had the possession of the ball pretty much, but fortunate for the Wildcats there, because that most likely would have been a fast break layup. Absolutely. If they would have gotten the chance to take it.
Kept her hand on it, which got the jump ball.
That's Arnold going all the way. They're going to get her on a travel, though, before these shots.
Ran into Gerber down there, and I'd be pretty afraid going in there, too.
Indeed. Especially with the, let's see how, it's about an 8-inch height difference there.
Yeah, that definitely makes a difference.
Engel with the ball passes to McLean. Left wing with Schroeder, back to Engel. Shoot over, and they're going backside to Gerber. She gets the ball, takes 1 dribble, goes up with it, and that layup is good for her first points of the game.
It's a good pass in from McLean there.
Haven in a little bit of a weave offense. They're going to get the ball tipped, and they're going to get another tied up ball, excuse me.
This time it's going to go for the Dragons.
So after the Wildcats were up 4-0, they went on a quick 9-0 run. Currently lead by 5.
Yeah, that 2-2-1 press has got them more energized on offense. I think that's a thing that you can watch out for. Sometimes playing harder on defense does help out your offense.
Right wing is Shoot with the ball. Gerber on the right corner. Schroeder back out to Shoot. Gerber will take the 3. No good. Boarded. They're gonna get a foul on Madison McLean. Is it Shoot or Shut? Wildcats attempting to break that press again. They've had a little bit of trouble dealing with it so far, but they break it this time. Roper will take the 3-pointer.
Deep 3.
No
Oh.
good. A little strong. Boarded by McLean. Passed
They're
ahead.
running. They are running.
All the way is Engel. Oh, absolutely swatted by
Wow.
Reese Roper.
Wow. That was a block.
Not the tallest, but she got up there for that block. That had some velocity behind it, too.
That reminds me of an Alex Martin spike there.
Lewis with the ball, top of the key for the Dragons. Gets the screen, passes in the quarter to Schroeder, back to Lewis. McLean with the ball. Schroeder will think about driving into the lane, but will not. McLean inside to Gerber. Gerber finds herself stuck a little bit. Back to McLean. It's stolen by Roper. She's headed the other way now. Got about a 1-on-3 fast break, though, so she has to pull it back out.
She's going to slow it down.
Stahl will take the deep two-pointer. No good. Boarded by Brianne Bronner. She goes up with it. Is blocked by
Oh, wow, good board.
O'Brien.
Great hustle by Still there to get that rebound.
So it'll be Arnold trying to reset the offense a little bit after a little bit of chaos, and that is batted away by O'Brien out of bounds. So the Wildcats will maintain possession and then immediately almost have the ball stolen by Schroeder.
Man, they are so close to some of these fast breaks.
If I'm Coach Roper, I need to remind my wings to V-cut a little bit and not throw perimeter bounce passes.
Very close to a backcourt there was Roper. Roper picked up her dribble. There was no one to throw to. Arnold comes open, and there's going to be another bat out of bounds. That's the third on this possession alone.
Yeah, great defensive possession here. Just like inches from a steal.
Roper with the ball, trying to get something going. They haven't scored in a pretty long time. Brianne Bronner being harassed by O'Brien, and then tied up. So very efficient possession. They will, again, for the fourth time, be taking the ball out of bounds. That is Sadie Stahl with the ball. Out to Roper. They might look to hold for the last shot here with 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Arnold with the ball.
Nice screen.
Will take the three, blocked by Gerber, but Stahl gets it, goes out with it, and
Oh,
somehow does not get the
goes
layup
out.
to go. Gets her own board, goes up with it again, and that one falls.
Yep. That first one barely rolled out, but got her own board. Put it back up and in.
12 seconds left. Gerber with inside position, stolen by Roper. 8 seconds left. They're headed the other direction. Little cross by Roper. Crosses again. 5 seconds left. Gets it to Arnold. Arnold, pump fake, and the shot is no good after one quarter. The score is Halstead 9, Haven 6. Rolling Wheels is your local hometown pre-owned car dealer. Call or text us at 620-869-9982. The Lincoln Perk is a proud sponsor of Swelter Sports Network. Lincoln Perk has been serving the community for many years with the best coffee and atmosphere around. We encourage you to shop local and stop by to try their delicious food and drinks. Dan Cycle is proud to support those who work hard and play hard, including their customers and the athletes, cheer teams, and pet bands in Swather Country in Central Kansas. See them for all of your power sports, lawn, and turf needs. So we're back with some second quarter action. Halstead up 3. Lewis with the ball inside to Gerber. Gerber dribbles it off of a stall, I believe it was.
You know, I've really been impressed early with the Wildcats defense. They're pretty content to go, I think, a box and one here with the Arnold on O'Brien. And they've just had a stall play behind Gerber, and it's been successful.
No one came out to guard O'Brien or Schroeder there. I'm surprised she didn't think about taking the shot. Still no one really guarding her. Gerber pump fake into the lane, all the way stripped by Brooke Bronner. Wow.
I think she might have even been a little surprised to be able to take it that easily away from Gerber.
Yeah, that was great strength there from her to just rip the ball away. When she has the ball now at the top of the key, harassed by O'Brien. Roper with the ball at the left wing. A stall over to Bronner. To the older stall. Guarded by Gerber. Little turnaround pump fake is guarded very closely by Corinna Gerber, and that is going to be a foul on the floor on Brooke Bronner.
Yeah, that was great defense by Gerber there. As you can see, stall, or is it correct? Am I saying that?
It's stall, yeah.
Yeah, stall, yeah. Was backing her down, tried to go over her shoulder, but Corinna just the length blocked that shot.
Lewis with the ball at the top of the key for the Dragons. To Engel in the corner to O'Brien. O'Brien driving baseline, passes to the wide open Schroeder. Lewis will take the three-pointer, looks to be off and is boarded though by Engel. She goes outside to Gerber. Gerber's wide open three-pointer is good. Two great looks for the Dragons on that possession, and they eventually got one to go with Gerber at the left wing there.
Those second chance points really get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's 5 this game for the Dragons.
Especially with a team as good as the Dragons, giving them second chance opportunities, it's probably going to come back to bite you at some point. And they're going to get a foul on number 12, Brooke Bronner. So that's 2 quick fouls for her in the last couple of offensive possessions for the Wildcats.
They said that was called a legal screen, do you know?
They called a push, I believe. I kind of just saw it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't actually really see the play. Gerber in the corner, back to Lewis. Engel swings it all the way over to Schroeder. Inside to Gerber. Spin move, up with it, no good. Boarded by Brooke Bronner.
Honestly, some of these passes into Gerber, it looks like they're playing football. QB to wide receiver, and she's just going up and getting it.
She has been mossing those defenders down there a little bit, just going up, showing that height advantage. Arnold with the ball, might have gotten away with the travel. Nice pass inside to Brooke Bronner, but unable to do anything with it. Sadie Estall back out to Reese Roper, and they will reset their offensive possession.
A couple of good rotations from the Dragons prevented that shot after Lewis attempted to block that three-pointer.
Wow, a lot of contact there in the corner. No call, though. It's going to be out of bounds on the Dragons, so it'll remain Wildcat ball. Wildcats struggling to get it in, eventually due to Brooke Bronner. She finds Arnold, who dribbles it around the perimeter. Goes to Brianne Bronner. She tries to get into the lane, is unable to, gives it to her sister, Brooke Bronner. Nice little crossover move there by Arnold. It's going to be a reach-in foul on, I believe, Kaylee O'Brien there.
They subbed Gerber out of the game, so we'll see what Haven can do on the inside now that Gerber's not in there patrolling the paint.
Yeah, that might be a matchup they might want to try to take advantage of. Roper, a little hook shot is no good, boarded by Arnold. She will take it back and definitely got away with a travel there. Took about 3 steps. Did not get called, though. It is back with Arnold. Inside, they try to take advantage of Gerber not being in the game, is unable to. It is stolen by Engel, headed the other way. O'Brien all the way, no good on the layup attempt.
Yeah, that was a great fast break there. O'Brien took it, had a shooter in the corner just in case she wanted to kick out, but got the contact, put it up. Now she's taking 2 shots at the line.
Misses the first one. Gerber checking back in for Lewis. It is a foot height difference there for the Dragons, taking Lewis to the bench. Misses the second one as well, boarded by Brooke Bronner. Pass ahead to Brianne Bronner. Almost poked away by O'Brien. Got to be careful not to get a foul here. Pokes it away again, and eventually stolen by Engel. Up ahead to Gerber. Gerber will take one dribble, go all the way. Misses the layup though. Boarded by Engel. Back out to Schroeder. Inside to Gerber. They're swinging it around. Great movement. McLean inside with a floater. No good. Boarded by Estall, and it's going to be a foul on the Dragons. Crazy possession there we just saw.
Yeah.
Foul was on Madison McLean. That is already her second foul of the game, excuse me. So Haven with the ball now. Brianne Bronner will give it to Roper. Roper to
Good defense.
Brooke.
The Dragons harassing her. Almost get. Oh, they're a little reach in there.
That's a big foul there. That's Schrader's second, and that's been a primary defender for Roper, who's been pretty quiet after an opening bucket, or opening 2 free throws, I guess.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Shute, he said that Schroeder was definitely one of the best defensive players in 3A. So I'm going to guess he's pretty confident with having her matched up against Roper, as long as she's not in more foul trouble than she already is.
Yeah, and to avoid some of that foul trouble, looks like the Wildcats have gone to a 1-3-1 zone. Nice pass.
That was, as you said, Jackson, great backdoor cut and great pass from McGuire Estall to Brooke Bronner for the easy layup. Inside to Gerber, stolen by Roper.
Those are one of those careless turnovers you can't have right there by the Dragons.
Arnold with the ball back to Roper.
Looks like the Dragons are matched up after that possession of 1-3-1.
Nearly stolen by Shute. Roper with the ball. Little spin move, cross into the lane to Estall. Corner is going to be lost out of bounds by Carly Arnold. Appeared to have a shot, maybe got a little caught up with catching it. She was more focused on getting that shot off and then just took her eye off the ball.
Thinking about the shot before the catch.
Yeah, that's kind of something that happens in football too,
Yep.
which you probably know, well, hopefully you don't know much about, but you do know about. Yeah. And they're going to get a 30-second timeout taken by Halstead. So, as you said earlier in the game, Ben, this has really been a defensive battle so far. 12-8 after
absolutely.
nearly 2 full quarters of action. Not gonna lie, did not really anticipate this happening, but I think we kind of saw the Swathers a couple weeks ago give that blueprint maybe on how to slow the Dragons down with running that zone offense to thwart the prowess of Gerber inside.
Yeah, the Wildcats have been sitting in a diamond and one, and they do have a Stall who can match up with Gerber strength-wise inside, and that's really been a big factor early in this game.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you think about it. I mean, if you think about the zone, Haven's been doing a great job on clamping inside when the ball gets inside the Gerber, and then just being able to close out on shooters has been a good thing so far for Haven.
And Gerber inside, absolutely rejected by Estall, but they're going to get a foul on her. Must have been a little bit of arm contact in there.
And that'll be Stall's second foul. If they're able to get a third one on her before the half, that'll be a really big help for the Dragons.
Gerber shooting 2. First one is no good.
That foul will also put both teams into the 1-1 for the rest of the half, so could be here for a while.
And she missed the first one, so I think in my book that's a pretty good foul there. And misses the second one, so pretty good foul, other than the fact that it gave Estall her second of the game. Roper with the ball to Arnold, top of the key. Tries to work it inside to Roper, and does eventually. Roper had a nice little spin move to get out of the double team, but she was fouled before she got the chance to take it to the rim.
First person on goes to the angle.
That foul is going to put Roper to the line, like we were just saying. If she's able to capitalize on these free throws, that's a 4-point swing from the 2 misses from Gerber.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Dragons is they've been trying to poke out the ball a couple times, and obviously sometimes it's worked and got some transition. But sometimes you get those little ticky-tack reach-in fouls.
Missed the second one. Yeah, I have a feeling the Dragons are.
That could be a costly turnover there for the Dragons. I mean, 3-point game, pretty much every possession looms large at the moment with the game contested this closely. Obviously, there's still a ton of game time.
Those are just those unforced errors.
Yeah, because there was no reason, there was no pressure there or anything, just thrown away, and not necessarily thrown away, but the Halstead player was not looking. That shot was no good by Roper, boarded by Gerber. She's headed all the way, looking to take it coast to coast, crosses over into the lane, corner to Engel, swings it, and that's another turnover for the Dragons. Got Sadie Estall checking in for McGuire Estall.
This is where the Dragons really need to take advantage on the offensive end. If I have a feeling Coach Roper's going to get her back into the game as soon as she can, and just does not want to pick up her 3rd foul on offense here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. And I would not, and yep, that's going to be a travel on Arnold. That's her 2nd of the night. Could have been her 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, she's gotten away with a couple, but that was just right in front of the official. It's going to get called every day of the week.
I would guess they were going to try to attack the inside with Gerber, and that's exactly what they do. They're going to get a kicked ball by Brooke Bronner. Probably a very good time to kick the ball because it looked like it would have been pretty much a free layup for Gerber on the inside.
Something like that, yeah. You just got to do whatever you can to get that pass deflected. Because if she would have caught that, it was probably an easy 2.
Schroeder not being guarded at all, so that must be in their game plan. Engel's 3-pointer is no good, boarded by Brooke Bronner.
Yeah, and this diamond one, the one is on Kaylee O'Brien, and the only shooter they're really going out on is Engel out there. They're letting Schrader, McLean, shooting off the bench.
Nice back cut, but it was really great defense by Engel. She's headed the other way, passes it to McLean, inside to Gerber, and stolen by Sadie Estall. That's a pretty great recovery there from the Wildcats.
Yeah, that pass was just a little too high there.
Roper, a little stuck right now, passes to Arnold. Arnold dribbling around the perimeter, looks to get it inside, and does, to Sadie Estall. Pump fake, gets by Gerber. Pull-up jumper is good. Beautiful move there from Sadie Estall to get by Gerber and penetrate into the lane a little bit and get that about 7-footer to go.
And it's only a 1-point game now with about 17 seconds left in the 2nd quarter.
McLean's 3-pointer is no good, boarded by Brooke Bronner, or Brianne Bronner, excuse me. Arnold going all the way, stops, pulls up, no good, boarded, actually going to be tipped out of bounds by Maddie McLean, I believe, Madison McLean. So 2.5 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. It'll be Estall checking in for Estall, McGuire in for Sadie.
Yeah, smart substitution there. Pretty much no chance that she's going to pick up her 3rd foul, and you really like to have her offense in the game.
Into Estall, the shot is no good. Boarded by Estall, goes back out with it and is short on that one as well. So at the end of 1 half, the score is 12-11. Halstead up 1 in an absolute defensive battle at the moment.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better myself. Just defense everywhere.
For sure, yeah.
Any thoughts you guys would like to expand on the game so far? If not, we will head into a break. All right. Actually, let's do the ads first. You guys can go ahead and head on break. All right. Imprint Shirts, your local clothing business, is your go-to business for all your clothing needs. Locally owned and operated, make sure to contact Imprint Shirts on their website at imprintshirts.com. The Citizens State Bank is a proud sponsor of Swather Sports. We have a dedicated staff to meet all of your deposit, mortgage, and other lending needs. And you can still find free checking without maintenance fees at your hometown bank. Come see us, member FDIC. AGCO Corporation, the largest employer in Harvey County and a proud supporter of the Hesston Swathers. Our purpose? Farmer-focused solutions to sustainably feed our world. Our vision? Trusted partner for industry, leading smart farming solutions. El Cerrito, a place for you and your whole family. Come in today and enjoy a hot meal. Everything is fresh and fast, and we have something for everyone. So if you're craving some good Mexican food, swing by El Cerrito in Hesston, Kansas. Let Hendrickson Chiropractic keep you at the top of your game with locations in Hesston and Newton, serving you 6 days a week. We also offer sports physicals, massages, acupuncture, laser, and therapeutic modalities. We have been blessed to serve the community for 25 years and look forward to helping you achieve optimum wellness.
Are you tired of hearing something like this when you call your insurance company? Or maybe for you, it's something a little bit more like this. But when you call Fuquay Insurance, you get this.
Thank you for calling Fuquay Insurance. How can I help you today?
Your call will be answered by a real person from your community. Fuquay Insurance, a proud sponsor of the Swather Sports Network.
Well, we are back with some second half action in about 2 minutes or so. The Halstead Dragons currently with a 1-point lead over the Haven Wildcats. Guys, I'll wait for you to finish drinking, and then I'll ask you a question about the game so far. What are your guys' thoughts on this game so far?
Well, my thoughts would be, again, we've stated this a couple of times, but defensive battle. Again, I think Haven's played really well, their defense on their box and one scheme, on closing out on Josie, but also crashing down when Corona gets the ball. Excuse me, has been very effective. And then Halstead, obviously, their guard play, trying to get out, tip balls, steal passes, and try to get a fast break has worked. But again, it's been on and off. Sometimes it's been a ticky-tack foul, and then sometimes they've been able to get out in the fast break. And obviously, when they do that, they're pretty effective.
Jackson, I'll give you a different question. What do you think that Halstead needs to do to get this offense going?
So throughout that first half, they were unable to get Kaylee O'Brien any touches outside of those first 4 points. And I think she's an important motor for this offense when she's out in transition, running and scoring and just making plays happen. The Dragons are really good because Gerber's a great player, but she's what I like to call a finisher, not necessarily a playmaker. While she is still a great passer, she's not someone who's going to pull it out, dribble it out, make a couple people draw her to her, and then kick it out.
And passing isn't necessarily her best weapon of her game.
For sure. She's definitely a great scorer. But as we get underway here, the Wildcats ball.
And obviously that's not to take anything away from Gerber, because she is a good passer, just not the main skill that she has, I would say. Is Stahl with the ball for the Wildcats. That rhymed. That was kind of nice. Surprised myself a little bit there. Sorry. Roper with the ball left wing, guarded by Schroeder. Brooke Bronner with the ball. To Stahl. Missed the cutting Arnold there. Brianne Bronner with the ball. Back to Stahl.
These Wildcats are really...
There's the back cut to Arnold. She misses the layup. Gets her own board, though, and it's going to be tied up. It'll be Halstead ball. That one kind of hurts there.
Yeah, that was a great cut by Arnold. Just couldn't get it to finish.
That was actually her second really great back cut of the possession, and they hit her, just barely unable to get that one to go. Schroeder to Gerber to Lewis. Back to Schroeder. Lewis, they are just content to sit back there and not guard that at all. Schroeder, one dribble into the lane, somehow does not get the roll. Gerber back up with the and one.
Yeah, well, the early adjustment, what I'm seeing from Coach Shute is he's going to have O'Brien staying in that third quarter, and they're just basically going to play 4-on-4 out there on the left half of the offense, and they'll have Engel and Gerber inside.
And Gerber is unable to convert on that free throw, so that leaves her at 0 for 3 from free throws on the day. Great screen by Stahl. Brianne Bronner to Stahl. Back to Bronner. Nice cut by Roper. Had her lost, but they're going to get a travel on Brianne Bronner. It'll be Halstead ball.
And then, remind me Haven's coach's name, his last name.
Roper.
Okay. So, Coach Roper just looked at his team and just, as you can see, slow down. Just take a deep breath. We don't have to force anything.
That's something we've seen the Swathers kind of struggle with a little bit on the girls' end of things. We've seen them speed up very fast at some points throughout the season. And when that happens to a team, it can be very tough to get really good offensive looks because you tend to get chuck-up shots pretty early in possessions instead of working yourself into a really good shot. Deep three is going to be not particularly close there from O'Brien. It'll be Haven ball.
That might have been a little bit of a frustration shot. Being the focus of a diamond and one, you're not going to get a lot of touches the game, which you got to take a screen. And so when O'Brien got the ball, she's going to let it fly.
Going to get a foul on Lewis. You know, frustration shots don't only happen in basketball too. I know in tennis, you know, you get a little frustrated. You just hit the ball basically as hard as you can on like one of the service returns. Usually it doesn't work out very well, but it does feel good to get rid of some of that pressure. Stolen by Gerber, headed the other way. She will give it to Schroeder, to Lewis, off her foot, and I don't know what you guys thought. It was really hard to see because it was right on that swather.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a backcourt or not?
You know, from my angle, I think it was really close. It was on the swather nose.
Yeah, you literally couldn't really see it.
And that line is, you can't barely see it because the swather's obviously taking up the line. But, I mean, either way, obviously there's a timeout, so it was going to be a stop and play.
I mean, refs definitely have a better vantage point of that.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that one.
That's just, either way you cut it, it was really close.
For sure. Also, let's give a quick shout out to all of our cruise people. I don't even know. The squad.
Shout out to the squad.
The camera people, Miss Gaston, Amber Thrasher back here, Joey Keeker and Teague Mandola helping us. We could not run this as smoothly as we are able to if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, SSN is not what it is without the full team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cole and Lucas may be the face, but they are definitely not the legs that help the Swather Sports Network program.
For sure. That three is pulled by Schroeder. It is good, making them pay for sagging off. You know, to quote my man Chris Smoove, you sag off, your swag's off.
That is a direct quote.
And they're going to get is that her fourth foul?
Third, I think.
Third.
Picked two quick ones up, though, early in this third quarter. And, you know, if I'm the Wildcats, I continue to do what I'm doing. It's been working. You've held the Dragons to 17 hard-earned points.
Yeah.
5 minutes and 19 seconds in this third quarter. And if I'm Coach Roper, I'm pretty happy with my defense.
They just got to get some more offensive looks. Because, I mean, as good as your defense is, you're still down 6 because you really haven't been able to generate much offense at all. It's Roper with the ball now to Arnold. Arnold to Breanne Bronner. To a stall. Picks up her dribble after only one. Back to Breanne Bronner. Goes all the way. The layup is going to be no good, but it's going to be a foul on Engel on the play. It'll be Breanne Bronner shooting 2. Bronner's first free throw is good.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer to the wrapping up this game, you know, these free throws obviously very important for the Wildcats.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And as we kind of said earlier, each possession in general is, the deeper we get into the game, the more important they are.
Yeah, a big difference early in later in this game will be the free throws. Dragons have really struggled to make pretty much anything. Gerber's 0 for 3, and a couple others are maybe 1 for 2. But the Wildcats have done a really great job of making their free throws. As Shoot tries to walk in that 3, but gets called for the travel.
She walked a little too much into the 3, I guess you could say. And she is immediately subbed out for McLean.
It's the qualms of being a coach's daughter, I guess, in this case. You don't get to make too many mistakes like that.
Into a stall and back to Arnold. Arnold, they're going to get a illegal screen on Arnold.
What do you call them, the Halstead faithful? Their fans? Is that a word for that?
Yeah, that would be a good way to describe them.
They're getting in the game a little bit more now as time gets going down in the third.
Gerber will catch high post. She'll kick it out to Schrader. Shot another one
little long. Boarded by Breanne Bronner. She's headed the other way. Roper with a little pump fake cross. Looking to get into the lane. Does not. It's stall. Pull-up jumper. No good. Boarded by Engel. Nearly stolen, but ahead to O'Brien. O'Brien, with no one in her way, will get the easy layup to go. her first points since very early in the first quarter.
Backside defense was so focused on Gerber that when O'Brien got around Bronner, there was no one else there to stop her.
And that ball is just chucked out of bounds by Arnold. It'll be a Halstead ball.
Coach Roper's going to use timeout here, and I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if he'd used one.
Full timeout. It's good. Okay.
We staying here for the timeout?
Yeah, we will. So, I mean, Haven's starting to get their offense going a little bit. Halstead is starting to get their offense going a little bit, but Haven's still pretty seemingly unable to find a rhythm. What do they need to do to start getting that offense scoring some points?
Ben, I'll let you take this one.
So you're asking, what does Haven need to do?
What does Haven need to do to get some points on the board?
Obviously, one of their things was, or one of Halstead's game plans was limit the offensive rebounds. And so far, they've been doing a great job. So the reverse of that, I would obviously try to crash some more boards if you're Haven, because obviously their shots aren't bad. You know, some mid-range shots that are open. Obviously, they're not falling in. But if you can get some second chance opportunities, you know, obviously for both teams that's been pretty big. Obviously for Halstead a lot more because they've gotten a lot more second chance points. But I would just look for those. Getting those second chance boards, very important. Could get them some easy points throughout the stretch.
It feels like in general, Haven hasn't been getting a ton of shot opportunities up just in general. They've been turning it over pretty frequently.
I was about to say my second thing would be limit the unforced turnovers.
Yeah, like we just saw right there in that last possession.
Because every possession is going to count, like we've talked about.
McLean with the ball for the Dragons. Passes it back to Schroeder, inside to Gerber. Corner three is taken and good by, that is Engel there with the three-pointer. That's her second of the game, putting the Dragons up 9. Go ahead, Jackson.
If the Dragons are able to hit threes like Engel and Schrader have, Arnold gets that back door, cuts a fall. Nice one there. She's able to finish it. If they're able to hit the threes, Wildcats are going to have to get outside of this diamond and one, and that's really going to allow Corinne Gerber to go to work.
Yeah, they're gonna. If they're gonna knock down the threes, I think that they're 2 out of their last 3 from beyond deep. If they start to convert on more of those, it's gonna force them to start actually contesting them, as they really haven't, other than with O'Brien. O'Brien, one jab step into the lane, short on the floater, boarded by Brianne Bronner. She's headed the other way, guarded closely by O'Brien, and nearly pickpocketed. They're gonna get a foul though on O'Brien.
Yeah, she probably got away with 2 reach-ins on the way down the court, and they got the third one, I guess. That'll bring Lewis back in for O'Brien. It's a big possession for the Wildcats. If they're able to score here, they can start chipping way into that 7-point Dragon lead.
Yeah, 3 here would bring it back to a 2-possession game. Arnold will go into the lane, pass to a stall off her knee, back to Arnold. Roper with the ball. Couple crosses, gets into the lane. Wild left-hand scoop shot is no good. Boarded by Brooke Bronner. Back out to Arnold. Brooke Bronner, wide open three-pointer is no good. And saved, but pass to the Wildcats. Arnold into the lane. Back out to Brianne Bronner. She passes to Reese Roper, and they lose the ball. Stolen by Schroeder. She's headed the other way. She'll stop. What a move by Schroeder. She gets it to Lewis for the easy layup.
Roper's frustrated after that one.
You know, we were just talking about how Haven needed second chance boards, and they got 2, but couldn't put it in the hoop.
Roper, deep 3. No good. Boarded by Gerber. And they're going to get a foul on number 3, Brianne Bronner, with a shove.
It looks like the momentum is changing here in this gym.
You hear the crowd starting to get into it a little more. Let's go back to that move on that fast break by
Schroeder.
Schroeder had a beautiful little hesitation, stop, pump fake, and then down low to Haley Lewis for a 2 that you pretty much doesn't get easier than the layup that she got off of the beautiful move by Schroeder.
That was NBA 2K. That would be a excellent wide open.
McLean with the ball. Schroeder with the ball now, top of the key, or I guess top of the, basically at the half-court line. I wonder, you think they'll try to even hold for one more shot
Well,
with the third
you know,
quarter?
they do have Gerber on the bench, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to run offense as long as the Wildcats are going to let them to preserve as much of that rest for Gerber.
That's what happens when you don't know any shot clock in high school basketball.
Like, they're just content to sit back there. I mean, now Wildcats coming up with some pressure. Nearly a travel there from McLean, but she's able to hold on to her bearings. They're going to get a travel there on O'Brien. So, I mean, took 30 seconds off the clock, but didn't really do anything at all.
You know, if you're Coach Schutt, though, you're probably okay with that. You didn't give up any offense. Wildcats would be lucky if they were able to get a 3 points up here. And Gerber got her rest to be ready to go for the whole fourth quarter, I would guess.
It's stalled back to Arnold. Over to Roper. Brooke Bronner definitely got away with the travel and did not get away with the travel. They'll get her with it. And it will be Halstead ball. Gerber checking back into the game for the final 21 seconds of the third quarter.
That was a quick rest, but looks like that's all she needs for Gerber.
Honestly, I think I'd probably just leave her out of the game for the 21 seconds just to get a full minute and a half of rest,
if they do get the ball back in the fourth, it could be worth having that extra possession with Gerber in the game.
But they don't.
I didn't see that.
It's towards Haven right now.
Well, then I stand
No one
corrected.
guarding
Gerber
Gerber.
will rest it up top. 6 seconds to go. They got to make something happen here.
They will. Engel with the three. It is good! And that will push the Halstead lead to 12 points after 3. Mid-America Youth Basketball is a proud sponsor of youth basketball across the Midwest. Make sure to contact MAYB on their website at MAYB.com. Golden Plains Credit Union is a full-service financial institution offering a wide variety of products and services to meet your financial needs. We proudly support the Swathers. GLC Real Estate Services Incorporated, your only hometown real estate agency, is a proud sponsor of the Heston Swathers. Call Susan and her team, whether you are buying or selling. 620-327-3100 or find us at www.glcrealestate.com. Central National Bank is a proud supporter of Heston High School academics and athletics. Come see us at 711 East Lincoln or visit our website at centralnational.com. Member FDIC and your hometown bank since 1884. That three-pointer gives Halstead all the momentum in the world. Starting this fourth quarter up 12 now. They went on a, let's see, what it was a 15-4 run there.
Yeah, that's a great quarter for the Dragons, especially that ending out with that corner three by Engel. And it looks like the Dragons D is turning up on this possession. Oh, and another costly turnover.
This Dragons defense has just been asphyxiating the entire night. It's been tough to get much going for the Wildcats. Dragons with the ball. O'Brien with the ball in the corner. Back to Lewis. Lewis will be stolen by Roper. She crosses over all the way, gets the layup to go. That's clutch right there from Roper, only her 5th points of the game.
Yeah, we talked about how Gerber was subbed out in the third quarter, but she's out to begin the fourth quarter, and she'll come back in here.
And I believe they got a carry there. I didn't catch it for sure. And
Yeah,
you say that, Jackson, and Gerber checks immediately back into the game for the Dragons.
Yeah, I remember reading a newspaper article today for that Coach Schutt said he was going to get some of his younger players in and rest up since they were going to have 3 games in a week. So maybe that's what that was with the 12-point lead, but they'll come back in.
And
Nice
Schutt
steal
gets
by
that
Schutt.
steal there, making up for that carry by the Dragons on their previous possession. Engel with the ball to Schutt. In the corner to Schroeder. Gerber with the ball now. We'll give it to Schutt. Schroeder inside, pull-up jumper is banked in. Nice little movement there from the Dragons, and then got that about 10-footer to go in off the bank. Backdoor cut by Brianne Bronner. She had the ball but lost it. Gerber with the board, or I guess steal. All the way, Gerber, and one. Gets it to go, and the block is gonna be on Estall.
You know, it was a good try by Estall, but a little movement there. And a little contact to Corinna Gerber, and she makes it with the and one.
Yeah, with the head of steam, Gerber's going to be very hard to stop.
And she converts on her first free throw of the day. So 1 for 4 from the charity stripe thus far in the game, leaving her with 10 points, the game's leading scorer overall. Roper saves that ball from going out of bounds. Brooke Bronner to Arnold. A stall back to Arnold. Roper with the ball now. In the corner to Brianne Bronner. Screen by Estall to Estall on the roll. Estall will look to go to work. Little spin hook shot, no good. Boarded by Engel. She's headed the other way. To Schroeder. To Gerber. All the way down the lane, but is blocked by Estall. Arnold with the ball now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, at this point in the game, Wildcats really need to have something go their way on the offensive end.
Brianne Bronner took, gonna get a hit with a trowel there. There's been several of those today on Haven.
Yeah, the Wildcats really need to have a sense of urgency at this point in the game, down 15 with time trickling down.
Yeah, time definitely working against their favor right now. And that is going to be thrown out of bounds by the Dragons. This possession almost feels like a necessity for them to score on, don't you think, guys?
Definitely needed. If their comeback hopes are still alive, they definitely need something to go their way. On this
Yeah, the
possession.
Wildcats really need to cut this to a single-digit lead by 4 minutes, or it's going to be a tall task to make a comeback here.
We've just seen this insane Halstead defense for pretty much any offensive efforts the Wildcats have had all night long.
Blocked out of bounds by McLean. Stay with the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was actually a really great move inside by Arnold, but you saw the backside help, and McLean swatted it out of bounds. Estall with the ball. All the way, hook shot is going to be a foul on Gerber.
That's exactly what you wanted if you're the Wildcats. Stop the clock with a chance to score.
Yeah, when a team is down, free throws are basically their best friend when they're the ones shooting it, as it gives you a chance to cut down that lead while also not wasting any time. But you saw there Estall missing the first.
Yeah, you still have to make them.
The second is also no good, boarded by Gerber, so ends up actually being a pretty good foul.
If I were the Wildcats, I would like to see them get up and be aggressive. You got a couple fouls to give before you get in the one-on-one. You might as well take your chances. They've been letting you reach out on the outside a little bit.
You would assume Halstead might be in like free throws and layups mode here, 15 with 4 minutes left. So I would be pretty surprised if they take pretty much any shot other than right at the rim or from the free throw line. Shoot with the ball in the corner. Haven eventually going to have to start pressuring.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this game is pretty much going to be over before.
They're going to either need a foul or they're going to have to get up and get some 5-second call or a
I
turnover.
think they've gone to man-to-man here. Maybe not. They'll force it in, and Gerber inside. What a great finish there from Gerber to get that one to fall in around 4 Wildcats.
Not Gerber's most, the deep three from Estall is good. That's a clutch three right there. Gives Haven some hope.
Got to get a turnover and a bucket here. That's exactly what you want to see, those running up and down the
that
court.
quick three by the Wildcats there by a stall.
As I was saying, it hasn't been Gerber's most productive night, only 12 points, but you can definitely see that her presence has been felt as she's been the main focus of the Haven defense pretty much all night, been allowing the rest of the Halstead team to get some pretty good looks throughout the game. We're going to get a full timeout taken by Halstead with 3 minutes left, up 14.
It's going to get his starters back in to control the clock a little bit better. 3 minutes and 1 second to go. You will probably want to start getting up and taking some fouls down 14.
Yeah, at this point, it's basically just going to be hoping that the other team is not going to convert on their free throws, and that's pretty much it. You got to be hitting your threes or layups or just any shot that you're taking. You pretty much got to be hitting. Otherwise, it's pretty much going to be game over.
Yeah, you have no one who's in significant foul trouble, so I think you just put your 5 best defenders in, tell them to get up in the girls' grill, and see if you can't crawl back into this game.
The one thing that Haven can absolutely not afford to do right now is, or not, sorry, Haven, Halstead, is foul a jump shooter. You hear that very often.
That's
if
a
you
Greg
foul a
Raleigh
jump shooter,
quote.
especially on like a three-pointer, if you foul on that three-pointer, stops the clock, gives them a chance for 3 points, that would be costly. We'll see if they're able to avoid doing that.
You just saying that just gives me some deja vu to Greg Raleigh's voice.
You're welcome.
The people watching don't know what Greg Volley's voice sounds like.
Okay, well, if they come tomorrow night, they will hear it.
Very true.
Angle with the ball. Stolen by Arnold.
Interesting.
All the way, does not get the layup to go, and then gonna get fouled, and that might end up being the game there.
Just talk about the hustle by Schroeder.
Absolutely. She was able to get back on what seemed like 3 points there for the Wildcats. And she said, wait, just not so fast. And got a little piece of that ball, forced Arnold to miss the layup, and now it's going to be a really tough road back for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play. I would have liked to see her maybe go off of 2 feet there, so she had a little bit more control and wasn't so messed up by the...
Schroeder easily breaks the press there. Just full head of steam, sprints right past everyone. Lewis, sorry, go ahead.
They're going to have to get up is what I was about to say if you're hit. Oh,
Well,
and there's another turnover by the Halstead Dragons.
Arnold thought about stopping and popping, and then stolen by Lewis.
Lewis just snuck under there right in the stall and took that ball away. But another turnover.
If Haven was converting on these opportunities, they could actually have a chance, but they blocked it and then fouled, and then, or they got blocked and then fouled, and the last one they threw it right away.
Yeah, that could be a single-digit game.
That's 3 possessions
in a row.
Yeah, the Halstead Dragons have just turned the ball over, but Haven hasn't been.
There they do. They do convert on that turnover as Brooke Bronner is able to get basically the free throw line jumper to go. 2 minutes left. Halstead up 12. Neither team in the bonus yet.
Yeah, I think at this point, Coach Roper's told his girls play solid defense, but not to foul. Feel this game's out of reach.
If Halstead plays it right, they could essentially end the game on this possession.
And the Halstead faithful are just going to a round of applause to their girls tonight.
Yeah, great game played by both teams. Haven did a great job of slowing down Gerber as the stall swats Gerber, and they'll throw it out of bounds.
Well, with 12 points, a quick three-pointer, the game is not necessarily over quite yet.
You don't want to rule out a game until, what do they say, the fat lady sings?
Judging by Coach Roper keeping his daughter on the bench, I'm going to have to guess that he's conceded defeat at this point. But it has been a great game, and Arnold will go get 2 there.
Why are you hating, Jackson? There's still a chance.
There always is a chance.
This is March, and there's madness.
They will eventually foul, 58 seconds left.
It's the last foul before the bonus.
Dragons able to inbound it. Yeah, it looks like Haven's just content to kind of let it trickle. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that they're not at least going to attempt to foul.
They tried. Yep.
Okay, well,
They still, like, tried to brush over, but they didn't call anything.
Like, that's okay, but they still let 15 seconds off the clock. I mean, there's pretty much no urgency with the fouls there.
That would be a
Not saying that they're going to
foul.
come back, but obviously it would have given them at least a chance. Like maybe with 3 minutes left, if they started fouling back when they were down 14. I mean, hey, there's a missed free throw. See, I mean,
Arnold could come down and cut this to 7.
Oh, McGuire, stop.
it's still step back. No, don't do it. Oh my goodness!
And Coach
It's
Roper's
stall.
going to use a
Wait, I said
timeout to stop the clock with 33.6 seconds left. You know, like we were saying, this game may not be over.
See, if you foul 2 minutes ago, now you're down 7.
Yeah, like we said earlier, this could easily be a 2 or 3 point game. That missed layup by Arnold and a couple of missed opportunities after those 2 turnovers, and this is a 1 or 2 point ball game.
We were just saying about a minute ago, and it's been a great game, but now we have a battle.
I mean, if you get another missed field goal, another 3-pointer, this game's not over. I've been telling you, Jackson.
And Coach Roper does have plenty of timeouts. I still believe he has 3.
Has he even used a single one the entire
that he
game?
just used his
Other than this
first
one?
or second one there, so he at least has 3 left to go. That's plenty of time, and now you can tell there's a little bit of pressure on the Dragons.
Yeah, so can we just talk about that 3 step back
in Gerber's mouth
off the bank?
See, if this would have just been happening 2 minutes ago instead of just now with 33 seconds left, it's still going to be very hard to come back. Whereas you start this whole process 2 minutes ago, down 7 with 2.5 minutes left.
Well,
Yeah.
they were down 14 at one point. Was that the?
Yeah, I think so.
15,
highest
I
margin
think.
ball-
15.
Yeah, it was 32-17 at one point. We got a foul now.
I'll get up and
It
won't.
not going to call the foul, and they will eventually. It's going to be Lewis shooting a 1-and-1.
Wish we had the season free throw percentages, but we will have those next, or I guess, game free throw percentages. But I was wondering who the Dragons would like to get the ball to in that
That's where you
situation.
come in, Jackson. First free throw is rattled home by Lewis. Still not out of reach. Still a 3-possession game as it was before.
Sub on the make. Smart play by Coach Shute to stop the ball and let his defense get set up. And they'll be up in a 2-2-1 zone.
Arnold is stripped by Schroeder, and that will end the game. I think I can call it now. I think that one's pretty much game over.
You guys might be calling it, but I'm not going to call it till 0 seconds.
All right, Ben. Yeah.
You know,
that was-
Kevin Garnett said it best. Anything is possible.
Go ahead, Jackson.
I was pretty surprising aggressive defense there from the Dragons. You would think with 26 seconds left, they'd back off and just try to get the rebound off the shot, but they got up and got the steal, so I guess it worked out.
It ended up paying dividends. So with that, free throw puts Dragons up 10 with just 15 seconds remaining. Brooke Bronner with the ball. Backdoor cut. Going to be no good on the shot attempt from Lexi Smith.
Well, as it stands, Halstead will be the first team to make it to the girls' sub-state finals. At 8 o'clock tonight, we will have the Heston girls face the east of Saline Trojans in the 2-versus-3 matchup to decide that second team.
Tough way to end the senior year for Arnold. Arnold, Estall, Smith again, and Brooke Bronner. But still a good game. As we said multiple times, it was a defensive battle first half, and then the offensive started to get going a little bit second half. But either way, that'll be the end of this one. Halstead 37, Haven 27. Quick score update. Haley Lewis with 4, Kaylee O'Brien with 7, Parker Schroeder with 5, Corinna Gerber with 12, Josie Engel with 9, Carly Arnold with 6, Brianne Bronner with 2, Reese Roper with 5, Brooke Bronner with 4, and McGuire Estall with 8.
I'd just like to give a shout out to both teams tonight. Both played hard. Obviously, we can always talk about how at the end of the game, that comeback was just a little too late there, that little run by Haven. But again, shout out to both teams. Both played hard. Obviously, in the defensive end, it was a battle, especially the first half.
And with that, I think we'll shut it down for now, and we'll be back with you guys. Well, I'll be back with you guys in about an hour. I think Jackson will be helping us as well to get some stats for us on the sideline. Ben will be helping us in a different capacity,
This is true.
hyping up the student section.
I will be getting loud for the Swathers.
So we're going to shut it off for now. It's been Cole Deutschendorf, Ben Bollinger, and Jackson Humphreys, and bringing you this first game of Sub-State basketball.
Thank you for listening. And we will catch you if you want to come back to tune into the girls'